He's with us here, as I said, Keenan Reynolds. How are you, sir? It's an honor. What's happening?
Doing great. I just got some news today about my service selection, so today's a great day.
Wow. Well, are you allowed to divulge that? What'd you learn today?
I got my first choice, information warfare, so that's what I'll be commissioned into upon graduation.
Big news. Okay, outstanding. And, of course, the best with that. You know, it's interesting. I was going to get to this, but you kind of lead us there. And we've seen this in the past, Keenan. David Robinson on the basketball court. I know you're binded by the service agreement, but when you look at a possible future in pro football, what do you see? Is that something you might even consider chasing? How do you look at the next couple of years playing out for yourself, Keenan?
I really don't know. It's really a unique situation, and it's really dealt with on a case by case basis. We got a guy right now that graduated in May that's playing for the Patriots. But his case is very, very special. I don't know how my deal's going to work out. I'm just only thing I can do right now is just continue to focus on the season, focus on school, and just doing what's right, doing my job, and then let everything else take care of itself in the future.
Yeah, that's usually a good mindset to have.
Navy quarterback Keenan Reynolds with us here on CBS Sports Radio. Tiki and Tierney.
Keenan, your team is tremendous. I've watched you play a few times this year, and last year against the Buckeyes. So watching the most recent beatdown that you guys had against a pretty good Memphis team, the conference is strong. It's well represented in the rankings. Can you give a feel to our audience who may not be overly familiar with your style or the strength of the conference? Size it up for us, because I think you guys are good, but not everybody realizes it.
It's a very, very tough conference. Every team has got a high-powered offense, very athletic defense that runs around well. Every week, it's kind of the same thing. We're like, gosh, you get done with one team, and now it's on to the next team who's got a great offense, who's got a fast defense, who's, played some tough opponents and either beat them or been very close to beating them. So, there's no weeks off in this conference. I think it's very underrated, and it's quite a tough conference.
I always find this fascinating, Keenan. I don't know what your athletic trajectory was as, say, a sophomore in high school, but to do what you do on Saturdays, you're breaking records. When you were in high school, did you have any big-time traditional football offers? Did you blossom late? What was it like during your recruiting period?
I didn't really get too much love coming out of high school. Navy was actually my first offer. And followed by Air Force. So I was really heavily considering service academies, going into my senior year. I got a couple of 1AA schools that offered me late, but ultimately it came down to Navy and Air Force as the top two contenders. And, they just gave me a chance to play the position that I've been playing. They didn't, care about my size or anything, so that was very attractive to me. And then you add in all the military, job after graduation, the top-tier education. It was just a lot of things that they offered that, the traditional school didn't offer, in addition to allowing me to play at a high level and play the position that I wanted to play.
Hey, Keenan, I'm curious. Do you come from a military family?
I got an uncle and an aunt in the military, but nobody else. That was it. I didn't grow up wanting to be in the military. It's just kind of something that happened.
Keenan Reynolds with us here, quarterback Navy, getting ready to play Tulsa this week, and he's with us on Tiki and Tierney.
Keenan, you guys are getting ready to play Tulsa, and then you play an undefeated Houston team whose head coach has some impressive things on his resume, including being the offensive coordinator for the defending national champions. But you're a unique subject. Obviously, a student athlete, you're a commissioned officer, or soon to be a commissioned officer. You have so many other things to be concerned about in the real world. How do you juggle all of that?
Definitely. I always say it, being here is like working 3 jobs: military, academics, and D1 football. And it's something that's very tough coming in as a freshman. But the thing is, I credit my ability to adapt and understand the responsibility to the upper class, mentoring me, showing me the ropes, just teaching me, how to survive at this place, how to be successful at this place. And then I just try to pass on that knowledge to the young guys that are coming up that might be, feel like they don't, they're not gonna make it out, or they're struggling and they don't really know what they want to do. They want to be here. It was the people around me that kind of kept me going. So, I just try to pass on that light to somebody else.
All right, so what's Tulsa all about? I do fear that on some level you guys might be peeking down the road a little bit with those Cougars coming up. Tell us about Tulsa and is this a possible trap game for you, Keenan?
Well, on the subject of trap games, our focus is one game at a time, so there is no Houston right now. The only thing we're focused on is Tulsa. It's a one-game season for us, so I don't think that we're going to get caught up in, trap game or thinking ahead or anything like that. We're completely 100% focused on, the Golden Hurricane. So as far as that's concerned, I don't think that's going to happen. And then, they are a very, very prolific offense. They scored a whole lot of points. They got, I think it's former OC from Baylor, so they do a lot of dynamic stuff, hard to defend. And then on defense, they're physical, had a lot of tackles for loss. They run around well, just like every defense that we play. So we got a challenge. I mean, it's a challenge every week. We understand that this is a huge challenge for us, and our focus, like I said, is just completely on this game and getting the W. And then then the next week it'll be a new season.
Keenan, 5 TDs against East Carolina, 3 against UConn, a couple against Tulane and South Florida. He went bonkers, rushing for 4 touchdowns against SMU. Your rushing stats are historical. You've broken records. If you're able to throw the ball more, what do you think your stat sheet would look like?
That's a tough one. Honestly, I don't know. I think if we're throwing the ball 25 times a game, we're probably not playing so hot. We do, it's feast or famine. We do what works for us, and if it's working, we're not going to get away from it. So, a lot of times we get in a game and teams can't stop the run. There's no reason to drop back and throw the ball if you can run the ball and get 8-9 yards to carry.
I agree with that, but if I'm playing Navy, Keenan, all I'm doing is gearing up for the run. So in theory, shouldn't that open up some quick strikes down the field where if you target in the air a bit more, you can get in the end zone kind of quicker? Or is that just an oversimplification of it, which it very well might be?
I think that the play-action game has definitely been good to us. We do make our living on, running the ball effectively and then able to get a deep strike and for a quick touchdown. It just depends on how the defense is playing and what's working for us in the game.
Keenan Reynolds, quarterback for Navy, with us here on CBS Sports Radio, getting ready for Tulsa.
Keenan, you're a humble man, but let's face it, there's a lot of momentum that says you should be in New York among the Heisman finalists. What are your thoughts on that?
It is what it is. Gracious for the support and the push that I'm getting, but my focus is on winning because you lose a game and all that's gone, so it doesn't matter. We're just trying to go 1-0, and let all that other external stuff just take care of itself.
Okay, I can respect that, but at this point, don't you think you've earned the right to be there?
I don't think that's for me to judge. I think that would be very pompous of me to say that. I just allow others that watch the game to come up with that conclusion, whether I should or shouldn't be there.
Well, you're at the Academy for a reason. Good answer, Keenan Reynolds. The football stuff speaks for itself, but you're really what this country is all about. You and your teammates and your classmates. God bless you all. I mean that in all sincerity, and really finish up the season well. An honor chatting with you. I've been following you for a while, as has Tiki. Good job, sir. Go get 'em.